Hello, hello. How you guys doing? It's been a little while. It's my last video. I'm not even sure when was my last video. I figured I shouldn't start with the Faust Specialized series before the next season comes out. I don't know who already knows. I don't know when people are gonna watch this, but Evo is coming up this weekend, and they announced there's gonna be a big patch, season 3, new mechanics, new special to some characters, maybe all, and big changes. So I figured I should wait with the next normalized videos or specialized videos of all the breakdowns, just give them a moment to figure out what we're gonna have. So in the meantime, I thought something that could be interesting, or could be fun at least, is to go over what I think can be changed about every move from Faust. So I'm going to list all the moves Faust has and a few options that Faust has, what I think should or could be buffed about them. And this is not me saying everything about Faust should be buffed. This is not a wish list. I'd enjoy a few of these buffs. These are mostly just if you want to buff X move or X option. These are like paths I would look into. So as we go along, you'll kind of figure this out. And yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope everybody's having a good time playing Faust in the meantime. And I promise I'll get back with a few other videos in the future, okay? I'm saying I promise. I actually don't promise. Maybe I won't, okay? Maybe this is the last one forever. But hopefully it isn't, because I have a lot of fun making them. So with that said, let's just jump right into it. I wrote myself some notes, which is something I don't usually do to that extent, because I didn't want to ramble forever. But with that said, let's start. Okay, so starting with 5p. Now, I will say my general opinions about 5p is that it is a very strong 5p, okay? It has very solid hitbox in terms of horizontal hitbox, goes pretty far, right? Or the here should hit, yeah. So, oh, he's backdashing for some reason. I don't want him to do that. Let's just not do that. Thank you. So it goes pretty far, right? Yeah, no complaints about that. It does make confirms into 6p. They do happen on hit. They're not the easiest, but they're doable. So as you can see, sometimes you'll even get mix out of this. And if you get off one, you can do a mix loop there. As you can see, you can also break the wall. So overall, fairly nice button. So what could I possibly want from 5p? So many 5ps, or many 5-framers in the game. This is Faust 5-framer. The other are higher or lower hitting than... they don't necessarily hit as a low, but they do hit either higher or lower. And Faust kind of hits in the middle. And the reason why hitting in the middle is not amazing is when a character does something like this, right? These IDs, 5ps, many 5ps will be able to enter them, where Faust will often whiff. This comes as pretty important in many interactions of hedging against different options. So having a bit of a higher hurt box could be nice. In contrast, having a lower hurt box could also be nice. As you can see, when you try to stop people from dashing, chip may not be the... Yeah, I'll do something like this. So sometimes you'll catch them, but sometimes you'll be a bit too far, right? And you'll go over it, or yeah. Chip doesn't have the best ways to low profile you there, really. So him just going something like this is mostly relying on the speed more than the low profile. But when there's actually low profile moves, or moves that are just really close to the ground, Faust 5p can whiff there. Even if it's very spaced out, he still whiffs. Which can be a bit annoying, having to go with 2p, which is allergic to beating throws, can be detrimental sometimes. So either a higher or lower hitbox would be nice on 5p. Otherwise, no real complaints. This button is great. I love it. You should use it a lot. It's really, really fun. Okay, off to the next button, 2p. Now 2p got a major buff, giving him the low profile property. which is super important. I can't state how much this changes this button from being like a fairly bad one in my opinion to a very impressive one. The one thing that stays kind of is that 2P is -3 on block and 0 on hit. And even on counter hit, it doesn't combo into itself. Only on crouch counter hit it combos into itself, where it's +7, making it fairly hard to use very freely in many matchups where opponents just have one option that covers everything you want to do afterwards. So what can you do with 2P? So if the hitbox is already good, the hitbox is good. What could you do with it? Okay, so you can either change the frame data, either giving it like one less frame of recovery, which I really think would be enough, making it like just better. Either it would be -2 on block, which is really okay for you. Like walking back there is like safer. You can jump your opponent's mash options, which right now many times they can just hit you out of jumping, which is not very fun. And you can also just do another one, and if they don't mash, you are winning against a lot of options. So just that one frame of difference would be great. Also on hit, suddenly 2P becomes +1 on hit, which is really, really nice. It will make the normal counter hit combo into itself, which will just be nice to have like two 2Ps like this comboing, right? Just getting like the like as a combo. You'll see if like if he's crouching, it just works already. Right, yeah, like this. So you see, it's not a lot of damage, but it is meaningful. We'll make the risk reward a bit better on 2P, which would be nice. The last thing you can do, or not the last thing, there's like two other things you could do with it. Either make it 6 frames, considering it's a move that normally doesn't give you a combo, non-hit and non-counter hit. Making it 6 frame startup would make it just a bit better. Instead of giving it less recovery, you'd make it, well, it is like 0 on hit, but it's 6 frames, so it comes out 1 frame faster. While right now it loses to a lot of other options. Like even if you hit somebody, you can hit like a character with like a 5 or 6 framer 2K, and they will beat you when you press the next 2P. So you don't have a lot of options there. So these are just things to keep in mind. The last thing that is kind of annoying about 2P is that the cancel window is very, very small. It's very hard to, even if you can somehow confirm something with 2P, it's very hard to do it. Like, so you'll see that like I'm trying to do like mix after it. If you don't input it super early, then it just doesn't come out. So that could be something to be considered. Like, see, I'm like trying to do a thrust there. Like, if you really want to confirm something, it's pretty much impossible for 2P. So you'll have to do like a, yeah, preemptive, which is not the best. So these are just things to keep in mind, things that you could change around, see what works or what doesn't. These are things I'd look into with 2P. Okay, on to the next button, 5K. Now 5K, in my opinion, one of, if not the best buttons for Faust. So what could I possibly say about 5K, right? What could you possibly say? Like already, like it hits really nicely, gives great damage, confirms are good. Like if you can get that 6P, right, you get these like nice loops, you can break the wall from mid-screen. In the air, Jesus Christ, the damage is insane. So what could you do with 5K? So there's two things that I could see with 5K being buffed. One of them includes, both of them kind of include Oki. So let me show my opponent 6P on wake up. So like if you do 6P meaty, right? Okay, you can get 6 speed, right? Okay, it doesn't matter how meaty it is. Okay, it just doesn't work. This is really upsetting. Like I don't know what to say. It's just I don't think you should be able to 6P this on wake up. This is a hitbox problem on 5K, so again, it's still like remnants of like old 5K. Fixing this would be really cool. It would make it a bit more consistent option for meaties. The other option that I could see being buffed is giving it 1 less frame of recovery. And why exactly 1 frame, you might ask yourself. Okay, so basically right now there are ways to try and go for a meaty 5K, right? That is just frame, but will be safe against 10 frame or more reversals because of its 9 recovery. So if you hit on the last frame of active of 5K, you can actually make it extremely plus, but also safe from many reversals, I should say. But 9-frame reversals, the fastest reversals, stay valid against 5k. Giving it one less frame of recovery will make it so you can do a just frame, not an auto time. There is no way to auto time it, so it's just like pure skill, you know, get wrecked, bro, kind of thing, right? You'll get like a very fun combo. You probably not this combo, hopefully not. If they do, like, you'll block it. So it would be really cool if Faust had this like super technical option of like timed just frame 5k. I think that would be just fun to have in the game. So I'm saying this is like a possible buff for 5k if you ever want to buff it. I don't think 5k should be buffed, for the record. I think it's a great move. All right, the next move is 2k, and 2k, again, one of Faust's best buttons in my opinion. It's amazing at there, amazing on ground. Use it for pressure, use it for everything. It's such a good button. But there's like a few sour things about 2k. Now the first one is this, okay? So 2k is a multi-hit, free hit move. As you can see, I'm running into my opponent right now, but only 2 hits work. So this happens against, it's about 1/3 of the casters, like a bit more actually, I think, now. I'm not sure. It's about 1/3, I think. It's like 8 to 10 characters, if I remember correctly, which just do not get hit by the first hit of 2k, which is like the hit that is like startup 5. So it makes like the hit a bit bad, because when you try to bar of 2k, sometimes it'll just whiff, which makes it way slower to hit. Sometimes on your meaties, this will be a problem, because you can't like meaty with 2k, which is very important for Faust, to stop people from fuzzy jumping as much, especially against characters like Mei or Melia that you really want to corner. So yeah, just like making sure that like first hit is a bit wider, so it hits all the cast consistently. That would be really nice buff. Just quality of life, basically. It wouldn't change any of his like entire situation that much. It wouldn't be like very oppressive. Like, it's not like it's gonna start hitting from here. Just when you're tight close to them, make it slightly wider, enough for it to hit when you're just like that close. Against all the cast, of course. It mostly happens against the female characters, just like the usual suspect of like characters Faust kind of struggles to hit with his moves. So that's one option for 2k. Another option is when your opponent backdashes. Faust like is incredibly bad at like punishing people for backdashing. So if you do like immediate 2k, right? Did I tell him to backdash? Oh no, I did it on block. My bad. So yeah, there it is. So if you tell your opponent to backdash, and you ever 2k, there is a bit of a sour thing with Faust where he's just really bad at punishing it. Now, even if he hits you with 2k, the problem is it's almost impossible to confirm this hit, right? Like confirming mix there is just so incredibly difficult, right? Mix is very slow. It's like our only confirm option too. So making it better on backdash hit, which is something that I think is true for a lot of Faust like options, like making it so you can do something like better off the backdashes, right? Would be really nice. Like, these combos are very scuffed. The ones I'm showing now, they work on lightweights, but if it's like a heavyweight, it's already like a done deal. You're not getting any mix there, and this is like only because we're close to the wall. Like over here, it's even worse, right? So some sort of higher pop-up on the 2k hit could be nice, or if not higher pop-up, maybe I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure how you fix that. It'd be an interesting discussion. Maybe like a later cancel window, so you don't have to wait the entire recovery. Yeah, or like I don't think you could give 2k lesser recovery, so you could combo easier with like a 5p afterwards, right? So it's just something that I had in mind. I was like, this is buffable, but I'm not sure how. Maybe the new special, who knows, right? On to the next move, close slash. Now, Faust close slash, in my opinion, is a bit underwhelming compared to others. It is -1 on block. I think like at this point, like especially for a character who really relies on strike throw, having it be at least 0 on block is just a basic human right. that I want Faust be granted, right? I do think the hitbox could be a bit better. The hitbox is very deceptive. It looks like it would be the scalpel, but actually it's like only up to his hand. So making it actually use the scalpel for the hitbox, giving him like these kind of like big, fat hitbox, so it doesn't just whiff randomly in many cases. It's not randomly, it just whiffs consistently in many cases. That'd be really nice. It would be like a good buff for his close slash. Um, which again, just be nice, yeah. Um, these two options are like things you could look at. There's another thing with close slash where its startup is 8. I don't know why exactly Faust startup is 8. It could be because he has a long like proximity range for close slash, some of that higher in the game, but Axel also has that, and it's not the case for him. So I'm not sure. I really can't tell why it is the case for Faust that like close slash is 8 frames, but like for others it's usually 7. There is like Zato, for example, is also 9, but like obviously Zato is a very different character to Faust, so yeah. Yeah, that's close slash. I think we can move into far slash. So far slash, since the beginning of the game, had like a few big flaws. One was the recovery. They buffed the recovery a bit. The recovery is a bit more serviceable now. You don't die every time you whiff this, which is probably good. It's okay that this move is like whiff punishable. Generally speaking, is very big, has a lot of utility. So I don't really argue for this being reduced recovery. But if it does get reduced recovery, just like by 1 or 2 more frames, that would be great. Startup could be a bit faster, like could be 11 frames, just so we could fight a lot of other far slashes. Faust like options, like the mid-range options, become very slow. With 2S, far slash, 5H, 2H, all being in 2D, all being like in the 12 frame area. 2S is kind of trickier to talk about because like when it hits, it has kind of like an extending sideways and upwards hitbox, so it hits at different times. So it's a bit tricky. So, but the moves are generally slow. So either making it 1 frame faster would be really, really good for him. It would make like a few situations a bit more playable, like 2P on hit and like far range, which sometimes is just really losing for you depending on the situation, especially if you're like in the corner and you hit somebody with 2P here. And you just can't press anything because all of your options lose to the opponent. Like all the non-committal options just hard lose to the opponent, I should say. So all that is fixable 1 frame change on far slash. Other than that, the extended hurt box is just it is so painful, right? We all know well, what does May press there? Yeah, something like this. So May can do like this stupid move. And as you can see, like the extended hurt box is just like ridiculous. Once we get a bit closer, Faust just get counter hit like really hard. Right, see, like in places where she shouldn't really hit me hitbox wise, the hurt box is extended really, really far, just reducing it slightly backwards. I don't see a reason for a move with a lot of recovery like this that has fairly like weak reward, not very oppressive on block, and does lose to low profiles, air dashes, other things that Faust already loses to, and of course XP. Like I don't see a reason for it to extend the hurt box as well. It seems a bit excessive to me. So these are the things I'd look into changing with far slash. The last thing, I don't know how you solve. Again, it's kind of similar to the 2K problem. Like you'll see that like when opponent like backdash and get hit by far slash, the situation is generally like not that good. Like, right, you can toss an item, like you can confirm it if you want. Right, you'll confirm an item toss, but you're not really plus on that item toss. Like the opponent tumbles back. If you don't get like a very good item, then you basically like you like called out their backdash, but or not necessarily called out. You hit their backdash, but all you got is that far slash damage to show for it, which is not very impressive. So yeah, any kind of like better reward on error hit far slash, either it popping the opponent a bit upwards, making mix viable, or it being yeah, pulling the opponent towards you. That's an option. I've seen like a few other moves got that option recently. I just want to show that like even on counter hit in the air, you don't really get anything. So it is very upsetting. You are a bit more plus on the atom toss than the normal hit, but yeah, it is very upsetting. The far slash situation on air hit. So either a small pop-ups or at least like on counter hit, aerial, like you could confirm into mix. Something of that sort would be a really, really nice addition to far slash. On to 2S. Now 2S, already mentioned it a bit. I think this move really needs a rehaul or like a long list of changes to make it a good move. But if we want to just at least make it serviceable, here are things I'd look into. I'd make it faster by 1 or 2 frames, since it takes time to, as you can see, it's kind of like the follow the hands, basically, to extend the hitboxes and get where it wants to be. So you want to enter with this move, but it's a bit too slow to enter, and to be disjointed up there, which is the more important thing. So making it maybe a bit faster would help that. I don't know if it would help it as an enter. Another option is making it better as a ground poke. Right now, it's like if I tell mate to backdash on block. So generally speaking, when we try to use it, you'll want to frame trap the opponent. But sadly, close slash and bow far slash are really bad against backdashes. Right? 2 frames of active on far slash and no reward on hit. Versus just absolutely stubby and does not make it. Even if you're like super close. As you can see, with dash momentum, 2S is just not very good at that, leaving Faust very weak to backdashes, both when he hits them and when he just whiffs against them. Especially because both these options have so much recovery. For the record, even 5H doesn't give you any good reward here, so you really don't have many options, or any options that are very good. So just a possible buff to this, instead of the making it faster, could be making it a bit wider, and that buff would also be for it as a ground poke against 6Ps, which is something Faust could still struggle against sometimes. So that could be like an option. If it was just a bit wider, it would reach a bit further. It's a poke that starts from the bottom, like it starts from a crouch, so it's very useful against 6Ps. And of course, on block, on like 2H and 2D, you could still threaten a 5H or a 2H, which could be nice. Other than that, making like the recovery shorter is a very viable request to make. If I should open Dust Loop. I never do that before I start recording. It's like wait. No, it doesn't matter how menace is. I want to remember how much recovery it has. It's like 20 something recovery. I'll open Dust Loop later and check. I think it's like 20 something, 24, 25. So it's just very high recovery for a move like this. Especially since like a lot of characters can bait it when you try to enter with it. So that will be a slight buff to both enter, but also to you whiffing it, right? So it's not that punishable. So you're not that minus. That would be nice. That would be a good change for a 2S. Making it a bit more viable as a neutral tool in the entire tool. So these are all sorts of things I'd look into with 2S. Let's look at the next thing. Should be 5H. I'm not forgetting anything, right? Yeah, okay, 5H. 5H is an amazing move, honestly. Again, not a move I'd buff. But there is a small thing about 5HH that I think should be changed. I think it should be fixed, as a matter of fact. I think it's a little bit of an error on the dev side. So let's see what happens when you hit 5HH. Okay, this thing. You get this little hit grab that throws the opponent forward. If there's a wall, it will bounce it. If not, they'll just bounce to the floor like this, and you get a hard knockdown. Epic. What's the problem with 5HH? Well, the problem with 5HH, and I'll just show this as Faust, because I want to show the timing. The problem is that while normally grabs are not burstable, that's just a normal thing, right? So like, can't burst, right? Like, he does this to me. I can't burst. I'm trying to burst. No burst. No burst. Okay. And you can RC them, right? So grabs, you can RC them, right? RC. these are two things that are like, this is not exactly a grab, it's a hit grab. But even for other hit grabs, generally, like you can RC anything, generally speaking, and you can also, what's it called? You can burst like any hit, but not burst grabs. So like you can burst like Potemkin's Heat Knuckle or like Baikon's Parry. Anyway, 5HH, well, let me show the opponent. 5HH is burstable, right? As you can see. And the terrible thing about it is that it's like guaranteed burst into the corner. Why is it a guaranteed burst? Because Faust can't RC it, right? You'll see it like once it goes up, the burst only comes out afterwards. So see, like I'm mashing the burst option, doesn't come out until here. Okay, and that's just really bad because it guarantees a burst into the corner. Now, you can either make it so you can RC 5HH, which would be just like the normal change. I think generally speaking, it should be always RCable. I don't see a reason why not. But another change you could make is that you can burst it, which is a viable change. I feel like there's no reason why people should get a guaranteed burst on you on the corner. And people only being able to, or like 5HH being burst safe, is actually a cool addition to Faust. I think that would be pretty cool. Like sending the opponent there, it would make like 5HH into like item toss, like burst safe there, which would be cool. So it would make a lot of things very interesting for 5HH. Generally speaking, I really support this change. I've been asking for this for 2 years now. I really think there's no reason why 5HH should be like guaranteed burst into the corner. So yeah, 5HH, amazing move, but this change would be very welcomed. On to 2H. Now 2H, generally speaking, a solid move. There's like a few things I'd look into. So one is it has 2 active frames, making it again like sometimes susceptible to like whiffing or like backdashes or like how do I show this? I'll tell him to backdash and wake up. I don't know why I did it like that. That would be so weird. I don't know if auto times. I don't know if this auto times like 2H whiffing. Yeah. So since it has 2 active frames, it's pretty prone to whiffing. It extends the hurt box quite a lot, forward and upwards. So a touch up on one of those, especially the upwards one, I don't see how like the 2H extended hurt box upwards makes sense. Like despite him throwing his legs there like a little ragdoll, like as you can see, they fall at the end on the ground. So yeah, I don't really see a reason for this to happen. This just causes 2H to be 6 feet sometimes by dashing opponents, which feels really stupid. I don't like it at all. So these are 2 options that could be touched on. I don't think 2H should be faster, even though it would make it really good. If it was faster, I think that's fine. Like the startup, but definitely either the active frames, but more so the hurt box extension is the one thing I'd look at. Definitely unnecessary. Like the move is a lot of recovery. People can like air dash and punish it still. It shouldn't be like easy to hit the move from like all the way up here, right? Which is the case right now. Especially since it retains the hurt box when it's recovering. Alright, that was 2H, and we have 6H next. 6H, honestly, no matter what they do to 6H, I feel like it's always going to be a meme move. I think they'll make it much better ever. But there are like a few things we should like remember with 6H. One, I think on hit, if you do thrust immediately without confirming, it should be guaranteed. I feel like if you're not confirming it, if you're committed to a move that is punishable, then this should be a real combo. It shouldn't be like, oh, if they tech, they can get out. It should just be yours. Again, only if you commit, of course. Any frame afterwards, like any frame less than perfect is not real for fast tech. I think that's fair. Just so the reward on this is a bit better since the risk reward on 6H is so bad. So it being really bad on hit is already a thing. Less recovery on a move with minus 44, not minus 44, sorry, 44 recovery, which I'm pretty sure is the number. Or maybe it was minus 44 and I'm like mixing it up. I'm pretty sure it's like 44 recovery and it's like 34, like minus 34 in block. Yeah, like the move is like OSable by some characters in some situations. The move is like really, really fat and slow, like super reactable. Not very impressive. No reason for it to be this minus. It could be less minus and still be bad. And just like it will make the item toss just a bit better. Um, After it, like in like tip range, like the item toss will become a bit better. Maybe implicate the pushback that they added to 5H and 2D, so you could actually like toss an item a bit more safely. So there's like a bit more pushback. That would be nice. And yeah, and maybe just the fact that like you have less recovery means um, you could do maybe, I don't know, something cool with it. That would be cool. I don't know. That's all I have. Um, as an argument, I just think like the move is like generally accepted as like a pretty bad move. Making it better in any way would be cool. And yeah, like actually, I did write this down, but I forgot to say. So right now 6H so 6H is like, depending like which character you are, like you can react to it with a 6P. Some characters are worse at this than others, right? Right. It's not like an easy reaction necessarily. You can get hit there, but even if you get hit, it's like usually not the end of the world. Especially if you're dash blocking into 6P anyway, like you're already doing this, right? There I reacted slowly. Yeah. If you're like doing these things, like yeah, you can get these trades which are good for you. Which is really nice. A lot of characters who are a bit faster than Faust and have like, yeah, these kind of like saver to throw out 6Ps, we'll just throw them out. They also have 6 frame active, so it's a bit easier on them than it is on Faust. Like Faust is 3 frames active, making it a bit easier, making it a bit harder to do. So it's like something to keep in mind. Maybe it shouldn't be easily 6Pable by some characters. Not all characters can do this. Again, I just want to emphasize some characters are good at this, some characters are really bad at this. So yeah, maybe if that wasn't like an option, or maybe if this option is harder to do, that'd be cool. And the last thing about 6H is, and let me like stick opponent to the corner, wall break, instant wall stick. So there's this thing where like 6H, how do I, how do I demonstrate? Yeah, it has this like dead zone, where it doesn't hit very close to Faust. Um, I'm trying to think like, how do I make an example of this? Just walk towards me real quick. How do I exemplify this? Yeah, like this. We're just whiffs there. I feel like that's unnecessary. It's like unnecessary roughness. Make it have a hitbox. Like according to like the scalpel, like you can see the scalpel go through them and it doesn't hit them. I don't know why that would be a thing, honestly. So yeah, just dude, fix that if you want to buff 6H. All right, let's go on to 5D. And 5D, I mean, basically, like, you can make Reflect better. That's, like, the only thing that should be ever buffed about 5D. Like, make Reflect a bit better. That'd be nice. That'd be cool. Like, being able to either reflect more things or reflect just being better. Like, yeah, maybe not fully charged. Maybe just normal 5D works. I don't know. That sounds really strong to me. For like a one button tap. So I genuinely don't know how to work with it. This is like the only thing like you could buff about 5D. Alright, 2D. 2D is another example of like a really good move being weighed down by bad specials. The one thing I think like can be buffed, like he could buff like the startup by 1, but I feel like even for a 12 frame, this is like a really good move. So if there's one thing that I would change, I would make it hit just a tiny bit higher. Sometimes you'll get and wait, let me show this. So sometimes is he backdashing on wake up? Yeah, he is. But sometimes you get these backdash hits, okay, but 2D doesn't hit. So if it hit just a tiny bit higher, that'd be nice quality of life. So these like 2K 2Ds or like 5K 2Ds would actually hit. It would make you a bit more +2, and give you a better situation overall. So that would be nice. If it's slightly higher, just tiny bitsy higher. So these hits actually happen and you don't whiff there and look a bit stupid. So that's it for 2D, and I think now we can move to the air buttons. JP, the only thing I want changed is it being a bit faster. Right now it's 7 frames. Other characters usually get 5 or 6 frames for JPs, so that'd be really cool. Yeah, just getting like a bit faster one, as you can see. Other characters can like spam this shit out. We can't really do that because of it. So that'd be cool. JK, oh wait, for JP, it could also hit a bit higher. It hits forward nicely, but it doesn't really hit like upwards when you're like doing like a rising JP. It sometimes doesn't catch the opponent very well. So it could be a bit higher, but I'm okay with the hitbox right now. JK, amazing button. So what would they do with it? The only possible buff to it, I feel like, would be a change to Afro, if anything, where I think it should hit consistently characters with Afro. I don't think you need to change JK though. I'm pretty sure it's better to change Afro to adjust for enemy hurtbox to be at a certain height where JK hits. I feel like that's a better streamline answer because JK is already a strong move. So I feel like JK is the only move I don't really have a buff suggestion for. I just really think this button is really strong. Yeah. So yeah, do that what you want. JK is a really good button. Okay, JS. From JK to JS. I feel like JS has the potential to be a Faust cross a button, right? Making it kind of like swing across with the scalpel. Of course, that wouldn't hit like people crouching. They'd have to change like the hitbox. But I think it would be good with Afro, probably. It wouldn't combo into anything, so I don't think it's like that big a deal. But yeah, just Jess is a bit of a bad button right now. Like the hitbox pretty bad, the active frames are pretty bad, the startup is pretty slow, the recovery is pretty high. So what do you do with this move? Its attack level is not even good to justify it. You can change any of these things. So either the startup, the hitbox, so it doesn't have a dead zone, or just that it hits a bit lower, or that it's disjointed, like make it like do something, either hit below Faust. Like Faust really struggles with this like hit below me kind of like situations when people are just like running. He doesn't really have a way to deal with it. I don't think every character does, for that matter. But Faust doesn't have an air dash or like a way to move fast, so it's very predictable where he's going to be. So you end up just like being under him very easily compared to characters who can just like air dash like whoop and I'm gone, right? So these are like things that look into a JS. It could be a higher level attack move. I don't know if that's the way to go, but it could be a way to go. It might affect like some wall break stuff. I don't know if that's a problem. I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, but yeah, that's JS. On to JH, and again, this move is great, right? It's a great move now that they added disjoints. Love it, love to see it. One problem, it is used for safe jumps, and it can be 6 speed. I don't know if that's fixable. I don't know if that's all ever getting changed. I just don't. I feel like that's I feel like that's not cool. I just feel like that's not cool. It can be low profiled as well. I feel like it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be a thing. I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think, but I just don't think you should be able to do that if it hits meaty. Yeah, that is my opinion. That's all I have. So, yeah, that's the one thing I change about this move. Otherwise, amazing move. Hey, JD. JD has a few more problems than other moves. It does have that like weird dead zone thing that it has, where like if somebody runs at you, actually like it'd be easier if I like do right. So he does this. I wonder if Faust actually like can like not get hit by this. Faust is a bit wide. I have to try it with a different character. Maybe top of it isn't wide. Yeah, let's try Chet as like a normal hurtbox. So it basically has the situations where like it just doesn't hit. Lol. Oh, I'm running at the wall. Seems to hit him late here. Yeah. Yeah. I can seem to replicate it. I'm not really sure how to do it. Maybe it's because I'm like moving backwards there. It's like doesn't allow it to happen. It seems like I can't really replicate it. I feel like Faust players would know what I'm talking about. Where like it just happens. Yeah, whatever. I wanted to mention it, but I can't seem to replicate it right now. If I manage to do that in the future, I'll just record it. But yeah, there is like a weird zone there where sometimes you just don't get a hit when you're jumping over people, even when they have afros. Sometimes it just doesn't hit for some reason. So if that could be fixed, that thing I couldn't demonstrate would be really cool. The fire being disjointed, wow, that would be so cool. If the fire was disjointed on this fairly low level move for its recovery, that'd be really cool. Making it like a bit more plus when you actually use it, and not maybe people can like punish you for like making them block at that height. That would be really cool. Making it higher level move would be cool. All these options are like options I'd look into. I don't think they're like insane or anything. Of course, like you only need like one of them. You don't really want all of them, so that would be too strong. But yeah, these are like things about JD that you could look into. And last but not least, J2K. The only things you could fix about this like is probably like the attack level could be free. That would make J2K a super strong button. Actually top tier move, unlike the current version where people think it's a top tier move, but actually it's very flawed. A higher level on this would be insane. It basically means this will be like very consistently plus, and like these will just be really really oppressive, and even these would just be like a true string into mix. So you kind of have to respect it, and you could like delay mix to catch people mashing. It would be strong. It would just be very strong, is all I have to say. So yeah, these are all the buttons. Now off to the specials, and boy, you haven't heard me talk about Faust specials, I guess, since I haven't made the series yet. No recording or anything ready, but here goes. Here are some things you could change about Faust specials. Okay. Let's start with Frost. I guess Frost is like a good one to talk about because it's simple for the most part. Frost is a move that has a ton of flaws, so it's like 6Pable, it's low profileable, you can air dash over it, you can just block it, it's -12, it's very slow, so all these flaws. Number one, could it be full screen? Could it be like genuinely full screen, like not like the fake full screen? Okay, can it be like the actual like hit here, and not like still now here? I think, yeah. Could it be that? That'd be really cool. Option number two, make it work in the air. I don't see why it doesn't work in the air. There's like a lot of situations where you end up like doing this because you can't really go for mix, or because mix is super like burstable and you don't want to get bursted, right? Because like getting burst is terrible, but you don't really want to throw your opponent over there. Sometimes, imagine if you could thrust Ender. Okay, it would make Faust conversions a bit better. It would make his Oki a bit better, or just like the situation in general in neutral, it would make it better. Just that ability would be so good for Faust. It would make like wall breaks like a bit better. Yeah, it would buff up damage overall. It would be so nice. It wouldn't be broken. It would just be like, oh, he's like all the other kids. He gets a good like special to end combos with. I'd really love it. You could make the damage lower if it becomes like too much damage. I don't know if it will. I haven't like calculated how much it would be. Since Frost is like it's free hits basically. It's like, as you can see, free because there's one from the snap as well. So it does add quite a bit of hits to the combo. So I don't know what the damage would look like. But yeah, just in case you guys want to change that Arxis, that's another thing you could do with it. And from there, it would remove one of its weaknesses. So right now, again, low profileable, 6Pable, air dashable, super long recovery, and it's -12 on block. So some characters can just punish it with their far slash if it's big enough, or if they dash blocked it, and or if they got an IB. I'd look into either making it not -12 or make it like recover a bit faster so people can't like air dash over it and punish you as easily. Or like there's no like some characters can OS at certain ranges. Like if you do like an H button into like Frost, they can OS it, or like a 2H into Frost, they can OS it. Or especially 6H, it's like a super big one. But like some characters, like no matter what range, almost they get hit by the 6H. They can do, and like they can cover you really hard for like either thrusting, item tossing, mix, like everything. So overall, I'd look into these things. Just like one of these weaknesses I'd get rid of. Probably the recovery slash -12 on block. But could be also that you just want to make it like full screen, not 6Pable. You have to like low profile or a dash over it. Or you dash block it and you punish. Like any of the options really. Okay, next one will be Love. And I don't love this move. Okay. It has like the Afro Love version, which is also okay-ish. Here are things that I want changed about it. One, it should either be faster to force like earlier decisions, like they can just react and punish you on this. Like, so it should either be faster, so it's like people can just like wait there, sit, and then decide like, oh, I can punish that, or remove the counter hit recovery. Like, if it's so easy to react to and it's so slow, I don't see why the opponent should be rewarded with a counter hit. That was added, like, at some point in the game. I don't remember what patch they decided to nerf Love. But they need to give Love a chance to be a real special. Yeah. So that's, like, one thing that they could do with it. Yeah, better frames on hit. Like, maybe a bit more plus. So, like, you can actually, like, run in and do something. That'd be nice. So let's make him block, and on block, let's make him 5P. Or actually, let's make him grab for the record. From. So I do this, and as you can see, he can already whiff his grab. If you're closer, he will grab you. We're trying to like run up into a close slash. Yeah, if he 5Ps there, I'm pretty sure it beats this run up close slash. Yeah, so as you can see, it could be a bit more plus. Again, for such a bad move, I don't see why it isn't. A lot of people respect this or backdash afterwards too. Like if you're like here, which is not like a range normally love is blocked at. Um, sure, or like here, I'm trying to make it. Okay, even here it was like hard to frame trap a 5p from this. But here, it's doable in some ranges, but generally speaking, like these ranges, like by the time you dash in, you're like definitely like grabbable, hittable, destroyable, whatever. So this could be a better move, just like straight up. I would personally, I don't like that it self hits. I don't like that there's like an easy baby counterplay to it, to where like the Faust does this and you can just wait, what? Okay, yeah. I don't like that you can just do this like on reaction and just like force an explosion on Faust. I just don't see a reason that would happen, honestly. I know it's like legacy stuff, but a lot of things were taken away from legacy. No reason it would explode in. Like I see like both of them blocking it. That would be fine. And I guess going back to neutral, but like, is there a reason like we'd explode there and they like just be okay? So yeah, that's like something you could change. And this one is pretty niche, I guess. But like, I'm trying to think like how would I make this happen? So this happens sometimes when like your opponent has an afro. Let me tell him to jump. Okay. Wait, why did I reset? Dude, I'm so stupid. Okay, so he has an afro, and he jumps, and you get a hard knockdown on him, maybe like a mix. And you like, and you hit him with like love, and he gets hit by. Okay, wait, sorry, my brain is actually rotting, because of lack of sleep. Okay, so my bad. Let me restart this. Okay, opponent has afro. Okay, you hit them with love. Stop doing 6p on wake up, you degenerate fuck. Okay, you hit them with love. Opponent afro doesn't pop. Okay, I want that changed. I figured what I want finally. I don't see why love wouldn't trigger the afro explosion and just like the opponent just falls to the ground. Why is that? Can it please not be like this? Thank you. Like, why do I need to go through all these hoops to make it actually work? Okay. Make it pop. Okay. I want a combo. If for some reason they somehow get hit by this when they have afro, I want a combo. Okay. That's the last thing about love they should change. Okay. On to everybody's favorite item. Favorite special to buff and change. Mix. So I'm just gonna put out the obvious stuff. The hitbox is bad. The hurt box is bad. Buffing them is good. Like even like in the air, he's like super big. Right? That could be less big. Oh, Faust close slash is really small, but look, the 2k works when he's like that high. Just like how incredible is that? Like I don't see a reason for it. There is no reason for it. Make the hurtbox extension a bit smaller. Make the hitbox a bit better. Don't make it so people can hurt me when I'm crossing them up here, right? So like, I don't want to be hit by like moves. When I'm like, wait, I'm trying to demonstrate. I don't know why I'm pressing so early. I wonder if like Faust is like good moves for that. Oh, it doesn't even hit there. That's so annoying. I'm trying to show like a situation where he's behind me and I hit him. Normally other characters do that because they have better options. I should swap to Kai. Kai is so good at this. Kai, Baiken, all sorts of characters like this have like really good ways to just hit you when you're already like on the other side. Ram. Faust players know this happens. It's just I changed the wrong character, didn't I? Yeah, these changes would be very welcomed in terms of like hitbox, hurtbox, making it better. But these are not the only things I want, okay? I could also very honestly ask for mix, not for, and this for the 1 millionth time, like to not please give these random PRCs. Does he need to like drift downwards maybe for it to like be more of a thing? Okay, whatever. I don't have like the sleep to maintain this for that long. Okay, if you're a Faust player, you know this happens. I struggle to replicate it right now. Videos will be maybe made in the future. Okay, anyway, so mix has this like inconsistent thing where it's sometimes PRCs in the middle of the mix. That's really bad. We hate it. We don't like it. And it ruins our life. Please make it so it doesn't happen anymore. Also, something that they added was that like mix now forces kind of like this stick to the opponent thing. They made it so it would be easier to combo, but in the process they made it like a guaranteed punish for the opponent, where before you could actually like run ahead, they can guarantee a punish with a grab. So maybe just make it so it's not the case. That'd be super duper cool. Otherwise, like, oh, one more thing for mix. Maybe make it so it doesn't recover all the way to till you touch the ground. I don't get why it was made it so like it takes this long to recover, like till you touch the ground. You could just give it like its own recovery. It already has a lot of recovery. So it already would take a lot of time to recover, but you could recover mid-air. I don't see a problem with that. Maybe they don't want Faust to have like more air mobility. That's cringe. He should have more air mobility. His air mobility is not that impressive. It's just, like air dash being super predictable and slow. So that'd be cool. Yeah, that's about it for mix. Snip. The snip is a great command grab. It's not the best, but all command grabs are good. Or not all, but like most command grabs are like really good in Guilty Gear Strive, so it's good to have a command grab. The things I could see like being buffed about it is one, it should give less burst to the opponent. Faust already gives a ton of burst to the opponent. Mix, and other multi-hits. Snip gives a lot, so it not doing so would be really cool. Other than that, I think if the Afro is already on fire, JD should still always light it. Should always like put it on fire, right? This I don't see why it's the case. It just weakens his offense so much, forcing him to do like fake mix. Just like it is just upsetting. So yeah, making it so it does work would be really nice. Also making I kind of mentioned it in the JK part, but making it so Afro adjust for opponent crouch hurtbox, making everybody the same height with Afro would be really good. So even Faust and Jacko can be hit by Rising JD. Honestly, no reason they wouldn't be hit by Rising JD. I don't know. It just like robs Faust of like one of his like only options for like some kind of like offense. So. Okay, tell him to switch on second. Whatever. Yeah, basically, like, this should work with, like, Afro on. Right? Should work. This should work. I think JK should also work, but, yeah. So, like, adjusting Afro hurtbox would be really cool. Making snip better and more consistent, so you don't have to be like, oh, this character I can only do these setups, and this character can only do these setups. Just like making it more consistent and better. Okay, off to Scarecrow, and I'll start with PNK since they're like basically the same move. You could like buff the speed on this. It's still like very reactable, and people can still like whiff a button with you doing this and like still hit you for doing it. Considering it's still like minus, like I would say it's fine if it was just a bit faster. It wouldn't really affect how much it mixes you. Since the mix usually happens before, way before the hitbox, before the hitbox comes out. It comes from you changing sides, so it doesn't really change how good it is at mixing. Even though you could make the startup of the teleport faster, so you would teleport faster. That would be cool. So these are like options you could buff with Scarecrow. Right now, the move is -8. You could make it like -5 or 6, and I think that would be fine. Making it also more plus on block. I think it would be technically impossible because of the way the multi-hit works. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it seems that way. I don't know if anybody can confirm or deny that. But yeah, that is things I would look into with Scarecrow. The last thing I kind of want to mention for Scarecrow PNK, it would be kind of cool if opponents couldn't DP and like a disjoint force like win on you when you do Scarecrow KNP. Having that option to meet you with Scarecrow KNP, I think is a really cool option. It introduces some chip damage. Like again, this does quite a bit of chip damage. It introduces like some nice option of just you know, like charging it extra, even though it wasn't real, to kind of catch the opponent off guard and get some plus frames. I think it's a cool option to have. It being a bit safer to 6Ps disjoints, low profiles and DPs would be nice. So maybe like a bit safer hurt box for when you do it. I can kind of show with like the help of a sole bad guy, I guess. I'll tell him to DP. DP on Wake. Oh, he's already doing it. Very fitting for a soul player. Okay. As you can see, maybe it was just like a bit backwards, right? Right. So right now I can like drift like backwards. I have to do quite a bit, but at that point it just doesn't hit meaty anymore, as you can see. So I'd say like making it just like a bit safer so I could stand here and meaty. Right, that would be cool. As you can see there, I was like delaying it a bit and drifting to time for like right, time for something, but he can also like clash cancel there. Yeah, so just things I'd look into if you want to buff the move. That'd be cool. Scarecrow S. Scarecrow S still has this bug where like you can turn on both sides depending on the timing of the RC. And like that you could be turned with like your back to the opponent. I'm trying to replicate it. It's like the timing is a bit specific, but it still happens a lot in games. Yeah, there you go. You get turned with your back to the opponent. You could do snip even to the correct side, but he would do it to the other side. You can sometimes you get like hits to the wrong side. So okay, whatever. You saw it happen now, so it's pretty bad when it happens. There's no reason for it to happen. It's very annoying when it happens, so maybe it shouldn't happen because it doesn't make sense that it happens. That would be like a fix I'd be kind of interested in seeing. Also, I feel like Scarecrow S could give like, if not combos on hit, maybe on counter hit. That'd be like nice. Like there are ways to combo it, but they're pretty bad. So like here, like as you can see, like 5k doesn't hit unless you're like close to the wall, which again, this really shouldn't be counter hitting anyone, but you can like 5k car mix there, and like get a combo. Yeah, break wall. So this is cool, but mid screen for some reason you can't. For charge Scarecrow, You can like do this, right? This is an option. This is Charred Scarecrow counter hit. Nobody should be getting counter hit by Charred Scarecrow, honestly. So yeah, all I'm saying is you can make this a bit better, and by making this a bit better, I mean like make this recovery a bit smaller. Right now it's minus 32 for normal and minus 27 for charged, I think. I could be wrong. I just like I don't really check these numbers because I hate like the fact that it's true. But again, just like making it less. Right now, you could punish it on air block many times, which is not cool. If the opponent decides to jump for some reason and block Scarecrow S, definitely should be plus for you, in my opinion. Definitely not punishable. So yeah, all these are like my opinions. Other than that, maybe make it so holding back slightly doesn't make like Scarecrow S whiff. Like some characters it does whiff on, so yeah. Soul is not one of them. Some characters it does whiff on. It depends on your backwalk speed. Soul is a bit like below average. So higher walk speed, it does just whiff on. It's very upsetting to see and it's like very annoying. Yeah, just make it slightly less avoidable, maybe, because it's so punishable. Other than that, I don't know why so many characters have like really good end pairs against this. Yeah, just make it so the hitbox is better. I don't see why not. He's just like literally diving with the scalpel there. Make it disjointed. Make it so he doesn't get like end paired. Like, Jesus. It's not a lot to ask for such a bad move. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Yeah. So anyway, these are Scarecrow S thoughts and opinions. And now we're left with item toss. Okay, the last special. Okay, and then we just have sleepers. So the last special, item toss. And honest opinions, I think item toss is fine. I don't think Faust needs a better item toss. I don't think Trumpet should be buffed for Faust. I don't think like anything like that. I think item toss is a great mechanic. It works great. It works as intended. And it's very fun to play with. Even when you're losing, I think it's like when you get like a Trumpet. Even then, it's like fine. It's fine that it happens, is what I mean. I think buffs to his like normals and kit would be better to make item toss a better option, and not that you need to actually buff item toss. With that said, getting more fun items would be cool. Either old items coming back, making a comeback, or just complete new items would be nice. Maybe ones that are more varied in their effects. Right now, I mentioned this before, but like you have like Bomb, which is like a super delayed explosion, so both have to hold it theoretically. Where is it? Yeah, here. So you have like a Bomb, you have Weight and Hammer, which kind of do like similar thing in terms of like timing. So they hit, there's like small delay, then hit. You have Donut and Banana, which are like the foods. Banana leaves like a bit of an obstacle for both of you to not run over. Afro is like a nothing in terms of like immediate like anything. Meteors, similar to Bomb, but slightly less delayed. Like delayed like a positive effect, like positive only. Mini Faust also like a bit delayed unless it lands right on top of him. So there's kind of like the categories of like I have no effect, I have a slightly delayed effect, and I have like a pretty delayed effect. And I think like adding something that's a bit less in line with the other items will make the chaos a bit more fun, especially when you're like super item tossing, right? Getting like more varied situations would be cool. It would make item toss just more fun to play with. Other than that, if you want to buff item toss, I guess you could make it either recover slightly less, making like attempts to punish it a bit more committal, so you can just like kind of hedge against like all the specials at the same time. That'd be cool. I do think the other specials are better targets for buffs, but if you want to buff item toss, be my guest. You could remove the counter recovery as well and not change the recovery. I'm okay with that too. Yeah, like no problem with that. Other than that, I think yeah, I think that's fine. I think the items are good. I would change maybe like some of these like arcs that you get like at the wall. Some items arcs are just just not cool. Like you have like a banana, where like if you're close to the wall, it just like blocks your Oki, right? So like that's not the coolest thing. Um, yeah, you could change some of these, but generally speaking, the items are fine, even in the corner. Like Mini Faust, when you throw him around the corner, basically he never makes it to the opponent, which is like super annoying. They feel like they should be afraid of him, but he's basically just leaving. Um, so yeah, all these things make his like corner somewhat inconsistent or bad. People will tell me Mini Faust is broken even when he will just walk away, but it is what it is. Last thing we got like are the supers, and we got bone crushing assignment. People complain about this being low damage. I think it does fine damage. I don't think the damage needs to be buffed. I do think it could be a bit, again, I don't know, a real reversal. Something I said for like a million years. I don't know why Faust gets like the slowest by far reversal. It has more than like twice the startup of like the good reversals. I just I can't explain it. I don't think there is an explanation. It's just really bad, and the fact that it is really bad is really bad because it's basically like not having a reversal at all in most situations where you want a reversal. And that's just really cringe. Super PRC exists. Many characters can super PRC. I think Faust specifically is pretty bad because he doesn't have a real super for people to be afraid of. So OSing it is a bit easier. So yeah, basically make the super real. It's like a real super, like clean, like at least like 5 to 8 like frames of startup. I don't see like why people can like react to my super with options. I don't see why people can like call out my super by like meeting me and being safe. Like this should be a real reversal, like all other reversals. At the very least, like as fast as like Testament. At the very least, as fast as Testament. As free frames active, which is fine. I don't know why Faust is minus 32 on block. Somebody can explain that to me. Maybe I don't know why other supers are like not necessarily this bad for like better like basically better stats for like faster but like less punishable. So that could be cool if it was less punishable. Even like on air block, it wouldn't be like as punishable as it is right now. Bone crushing excitement. Hitbox was buffed. It is still weaker than others, but I mean, I take it. I mean, we started so low, so I just take it. I'm okay with it. I think like other supers, some of them are more active as well. I don't have like the data on hand. Faust is free frames active. Makes it a bit inconsistent sometimes, but I mean, it is what it is. So you could make it a bit more active, but it is what it is. Okay. What could this be super? Okay, and we'll talk about this one first. But personally, I think both of them are really bad. One is worse than the other for basically using more meter. This right now isn't very good. Mostly because in many situations, having a lot of items together doesn't synergize that well. That's where my opinion earlier comes, where we should have more chaos on the board. More like different timings of stuff hitting. If you get like a weight and a like 2 weights, or you get like a weight and a hammer, they don't synergize. They just like do nothing. And in most cases, the opponent is like not right near you, so you don't really use them in any way. Also, since the recovery like there exists till you can actually do something, like what do you get there is like the question for doing this. Like I don't really see it. You're basically hoping for meteors or mini fast when you're doing this. And even then, sometimes you can't use them because like weights come out, or like, or just because meteors aren't necessarily like a win neutral situation, or you get like a banana that stops you, or yeah, basically there's like a ton of things that go wrong with this very normally, like very consistently. It doesn't win a lot in situations. It's not good after burst. Now, how could you make this better? What's the buff, right? So they made it have less recovery, right? That's cool. It could have less recovery still. It could also have less startup. In my head, I feel like this should be like a reversal where it's like it's frame 1, and if you pull the right item, it would stop your opponent. So it'd be like just invul in the beginning, so you can't like be meatied by it, or it's kind of like Anji's pair who pulls the first item, and that if it's like an aggressive like hammer weight, it would like stop the opponent. I feel like that would be funny and cool. I don't know if that would ever be implemented, but it would make these two supers like a bit less terrible as like a Gamba DP situation. I think that would be funny at the very least. It could go very badly as well, where like you give your opponent like good items to work with, and he also gets the meaty. I don't know. It's something to consider. So I think that would be funny. Other than that, pretty bad super. If you make it 25 meter, maybe it would be better. Overall, I genuinely don't like recommend using this too much. Like one of its few uses is just making some pokes safer, because it has less recovery than item toss. But that's about it. And for the 100 item super, yeah, it's just really bad. It costing 100 meter is shameful for what it does. Even if it threw like extra few items, it would still be pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I feel like it's more of a meme super. I don't think it should be buffed. I feel like it should just not be used, generally speaking. With better items, it could be buffed. Better item synergies, it could be buffed. So I guess like if you ever buff this, do it through item toss and adding more cool shit. And that covers all of Faust's moves. This is probably a very long video, but I do want to mention just two more things. Okay, two more things, I promise. One of them is air dashes. Okay, Faust has a pretty fat hurt box when he's air dashing. It used to be the case where Faust shrank his hurt box when he was air dashing. Now he extends it for some reason. He gets bigger. So buffing air dashes hurt box either to the point where he shrinks it, or just so his hurt box isn't like that fat would be really nice. Or like buttons that normally can't hit him in the air suddenly can. So that'd be cool. It'd make like the delayed air dash options a bit better too. Another thing is make this FD cancelable, like the air dash, not the jump, not just J2K or anything, just the air dash. Make the air dash FD cancelable. The fact we have to like press a button to get out of air dash early, right, is so shameful, right? Like why could we like just air dash, FD cancel it? Like being stuck in this air dash is so bad sometimes. And we do have other options. It's not like we had the choice there, having a normal movement options. We're just stuck with this. So any change to that, like FDing, I think just makes sense. It's not like gonna be like Xrd or anything. It's just like FDing the air dash both forward and backwards. It could be at the same point where you have like to cancel now. I'd be okay with that. Being able to FD earlier would be strong, in my opinion. It would be cool. But yeah, well, whatever you guys want to do, just like make them FD cancelable. These are things for the air dashes, both backwards and forward. And I'll just check in my notes. Yeah, and you can make the cancel window faster. You can make it cancelable faster as well to make it more in line with other air dashes. But yeah, like up to you guys, Arxis. Do whatever you want. But I do think his air dashes are very lacking. And other than that, I think we're just left with crawl, the last movement option not spoken about. A crawl is generally fine. The problem is crawl isn't like super used outside of very specific matchups or like specific like OSs. I'd like crawl to be a bit like more useful, more something you use consciously, not just down back, just like sometimes you do down forward. I feel like that would be cool. We got added stuff on like characters like Geo, on her specials, right, which is very nice. But seeing more things of this around the cast, especially in matchups where you struggle a bit more, would be cool. So yeah. There was like a long list of moves where you could like say, that's maybe low profileable because you can 6p it and do like other things, but up to you. Take whatever you want. I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. So with that said, thanks everybody who was here to listen. Season 3 is upon us. I wanted to release this before Evo comes out, so I am not like saying it after I already know what is the changes. Assuming they actually tell us during Evo. I hope everybody has a lot of fun time watching Evo if you're playing there and you're playing Faust. Good luck on your run. Good RNG. And yeah, let me know if there's some stuff that you guys want buffed. I'd be interested to hear anything like that that I didn't think about. And yeah, have a good whatever you're having. I'll see you around in the next video, which may or may not come out, but hopefully will, because yeah, that'd be good, right? I mean, you made it all the way here, so you'd probably agree with me. Okay, I'm gonna go rest now. Bye bye.